Oh my god, it's just so fast. Oh my god. Sport displays, and right there you can see your kilowatts of power. Hello everyone, my name is Taylor from Market Car, and that right behind me is a BMW 7 Series 730D xDrive. And I just recorded a bit of a long form video on this car, and I thought I'd take you on a bit of a POV drive with it. So let's start off with the exterior of this car, and I really want to show you off how cool this car is. I mean, this got to be one of my favorite BMWs ever made, and just look at that front styling. I mean, I don't know who designed this front end, but it just looks really amazing. This is actually one of the first of these cars to have these really cool headlight designs that basically every BMW had up until a few years ago. And then this is also one of the last cars that has fog lights as a BMW. I think the 5 Series might have been the last one, the pre-facelift. They actually ditched the fog lights in the facelift version of this car, which is a bit of a shame. Right here, there's a bit of a hockey stick right there on the side of the car, which I really like. It's a BMW design hue that I really enjoyed seeing on these cars, and even the facelift version has it. I just mentioned in the long form video that in the facelift, it looks more a bit of like a scythe, and they probably wouldn't let you play hockey with that one. And right here on the side of the car, this is not the long model, this is the normal model. So you can see that the door, the rear door is actually still a bit longer than the front door, which of course means that you are going to have a lot of passenger room in the back seat. And another thing that I really like about this car is that it has this, they call it the Hopmeister kink. I really like it, and I'm really sad that BMW kind of removed that from the newer models. On a lot of the newer models, they don't really have it anymore. Now we move on to the back, and this car has, I think, 20-inch wheels. Amazing. We're running winter tires now, of course, because it's winter. And just look at those rear tail lights. I love the tail lights on this car. The tail light design is just something else on this car. Not so much on the facelift. It has a bit of a light bar. Not a big fan, but here on the pre-facelift, in my opinion, it just looks perfect. It doesn't really get much better than that. Right here in the rear of the car, you also have twin tailpipes on all models, which I really enjoy. I really like seeing twin tailpipes on cars because it just lets you know that the car is powerful. Now, even before we get into the interior of the car, you can see right here that the Bowers & Wilkins sound system is actually visible through the rear glass even without getting inside, which is really cool when you want to show people off that you have the upgraded sound system in this car, which is the Bowers & Wilkins and not the Harman Kardon sound system. Now right here in the back of the car, I mean, this is pretty much where the luxury happens. You got ambient lighting on the doors, and even right here on the door sill, which is really nice. Let me get inside on the other side and show you just all kinds of amenities that we have in the back. What's really nice about these doors is that they're actually soft closed, so you don't have to be too careful when you close them. You can just kind of get them there approximately, even though I just slammed them and then they close automatically. So you've got ambient lighting right here, which is pretty nice. And then right here you have a screen that you can turn on. This is not a touch screen. You don't control it with your fingers. There's actually this panel right here, which you drop down the center console, and then right here you've got your, of course, your tablet to control your screen. So you just pull this thing down, select the right screen, and then right here you can just like scroll here, basically do whatever you make it do. It's really cool. It's a really innovative system. Again, I've said this in my main video, but at first these things may sound like a gimmick, but when you get to use them, when you get a bit bored in your car, it really makes the difference between making this from a boring car to a more interesting car. And you can see how quick the lighting changes. Only thing I'm not a big fan of is maybe they should have made it so that you can choose any color instead of these preset ones, but I guess BMW knows colors better than me anyway. So, and another cool thing on this car is that you can actually control the front seat that's in front of you from this kind of center console thing. So you press this button right here that says 2 on it, and then you just push this, and then the front seat actually moves forward to give you more leg room, which is really nice. You can also basically control it in every way that it moves normally. And right here you can press this button that moves your seat into kind of the natural seating position after you've been reclined for so long in your 7 Series. So another cool thing, that the Bowers & Wilkins sound system, the upgraded sound system in this car, which actually costs a lot of money, $5,000 to $10,000, has this ambient lighting as well. So you can see right here, and then right here in the front of the car, it also has this really cool swirl effect, which makes it look really nice, which I really enjoy in this car. Also, the last fun thing that I want to show you in the back of the car is that you can actually close and open all the sunshades in the rear from just one button. So you can see I just pressed that button, and then all of a sudden everything closes, even the sunroof on this car. And that's really nice because when you want to not be seen, or when you want to shield your child from the sun, all you have to do is just press one button, and the same works in reverse. So you just press that one button, everything opens, even your sunroof, and it's just really nice. It's a nice feature that they included. Right there you can see how the soft close mechanism works. And another feature that I want to show you on this car, which is really cool, is that in order to open the trunk, all you have to do is basically just kick the car right there, and then it opens automatically. That's really cool. And of course it works in reverse, so all you have to do is just kick it right there, and then it kind of blinks and it starts to lower. I mean, that's just amazing, just amazing. I've just had this car for a bit, and I swear I would never actually use the key to open this car. You don't even have to, because of course it has comfort access. You can lock it right here. If you press this ridge right here on the door handle, you can see it locks, and then all you have to do is just put your hand right there and unlocks. It's a really nice system. And then finally, let's move on to the driver's side, and let me show you a bit of the technology before we go for a drive. So right here in the interior, I mean, it's just as luxurious as it is in the back. The shorter wheelbase is supposed to be the driver's car. The longer wheelbase is supposed to be the car you want to be chauffeured in. So right here, you've got your really nice screen that has that gesture control where you can, you know, turn up and down the volume just by doing this. It's really nice. Right here, you've got your really nice, I think this might be ceramic shifter. I mean, this, or maybe it's glass, but it's just a really nice surface. It's not that plastic that BMW usually has, and every single control in this car is either this like really nice plastic or this really great aluminum right here. You can see on the steering wheel as well, you've got aluminum controls right there, which really make it seem a lot more premium than just in your standard 3 Series. Right here on the side of the car, again, you have the Bowers & Wilkins sound system and the Bowers & Wilkins sound system again in that little triangle right there on the door. I really, again, like that vortex effect that it has. You can see it right there. Just looks amazing. And then let's start up the car. I mean, I really like the startup of this car. This car is a 3-liter inline 6 diesel engine. It's not the most powerful model, but it still sounds really nice, and the turbo also sounds really nice. One thing I want to show you is that it has a heads-up display, so when you're driving it, it looks really nice. You've also got a full LCD gauge cluster with these really nice aluminum trim that kind of pops out outside of the gauge cluster, so it's not just the screen. BMW put a bit more thought into it. Now let's take the 730D out for a drive, but before we do, I want to show you the key right here. So if you press the button right here on the side of the key, it's actually a display key, so it actually has a screen on it, and you can see all sorts of information on there, like your range or your vehicle information, to see if you've done your engine change or oil change, probably engine change too. It's a really cool thing, but of course you're never going to use the key because it's comfort access. You saw how the boot opens. Pretty cool, but also pretty unusable or pretty much unnecessary. Also, these cars tend to come with the remote control feature on the key, which I explained in my longer video, which is really nice. So let's just start driving this car, and I'm going to put it into sport already because that's kind of the best drive mode to drive this car in. I think probably everyone who drives one of these puts it into sport mode all the time when they're driving it. And we're right now in normal sport mode, so we're not actually even in the what is it called, the sport shifting, which I'll turn on in just a second. But this car doesn't have shift paddles. I guess it's because it's one of these lower models. Let's just overtake this guy. But it doesn't have shift paddles, which means that the only way to shift gears manually is with the actual transmission lever, which is not very elegant. But again, this is not a car that you'd want to shift your own gears in anyway. And I mean, I've talked about in my longer video just how comfortable it is to drive this car, and that's really true. I mean, I love driving it. Just having the opportunity to sit in this car for a few minutes can really, you know, make you happy. Just, you know, just to sit inside and just see all the buttons and see all the features. And you can just imagine, you don't even have to drive it. You can just imagine how good it feels when you're driving it. And this is one of these cars that, you know, it's supposed to be a car that you're being chauffeured in. Oh my God, it's just so fast. It's supposed to be a car that you're supposed to be chauffeured in, but honestly, I wouldn't mind driving it. I mean, this is just the perfect driving experience. First of all, it's a BMW. BMW knows they're driving. I mean, it's supposed to be the ultimate driving machine. And then you've also got to combine that with the fact that this car is just so full of technology that it's just a joy to drive. I absolutely love driving, and you can see right here when we turn on the turn signal, basically the entire street lights up. Even those signs right there light up, and then with the adaptive lights on this car, just amazing. You can turn the adaptive lights on, I think like this, right? And then you have that A right there in the screen, and basically that's going to adjust your headlights to kind of light up certain parts and not light up others, and it's also going to turn on your high beams automatically. Now here we are on the bridge, and I'm going to lower it into manual just so we can hear that engine. Oh my God, amazing. I wasn't full throttle right there because of that car in front of us, but you can imagine how that full throttle would have looked like. And it sounds amazing even when you're not at full throttle. Now, one of the cool things I think you can do here, I forget which menu it is actually in, but there is a menu to show your power. So for example, it's going to show you how much power you're making. I wish I could find that right now, but I'm not sure if I can. Right, sport displays, and right there you can see your kilowatts of power. I don't know why they didn't just do horsepower. And you can see your Newton meters, so I guess it goes up to 640. I think this car should make around, yeah, something like 620, I think it makes in total. So the 640 does make sense for this car. And then I'm not going to launch it or anything, but just pressing the accelerator a bit more harshly, and I mean that twin power turbo, I guess single turbo, it just pulls up so nicely. This car truly is like a joy to drive. I don't know if I talked about them already, but the assistance modes in this car, like the lane keep assist, for example, right here, if we try to leave the lane, then it kind of vibrates the steering wheel at us. Yeah, like right here, because it's a full line. Yeah, right here, it really wants to bring us back into our lane. And also it's got the adaptive cruise control, which I really love. So you just turn on the cruise control and it's going to basically keep a certain distance with the car in front of you. So if you're in stop traffic, it's just going to make it so much nicer. And if I was buying this car, I definitely get one with the adaptive cruise control, with the laser headlights, with the heated steering wheel, all the bells and whistles. I mean, you don't want to have a blank button on your 7 Series, right? And I think one of those things that BMW kind of missed the mark on in the facelift is they removed the fog lights, and that means that this switch right here that you have for the fog lights, I don't know if you can see that, is actually blank on the facelift model. I mean, how is that possible? We have a 7 Series and we have a blank switch. You don't want to have that. Thank you so much for watching until the end, and I'll see you next time. Bye.